Thank you very much. For our next presentation, the title is The Next Wave, AI-Powered Smart Ships and the Future of Seafaring. I'd like to introduce to the stage Mr. Konstantinos Sismanidis, founder of Lemur Maritime and Maritime Risk Management Advisor.
Kalimera και good morning. Whenever I received this invitation, my first thought was what the seamen have to do with artificial intelligence. Mr. President, organizers, Adonis, thank you for the invitation, because today I'm not going to talk about artificial intelligence, but I'm going to talk the human aspect of artificial intelligence. To do that, I used artificial intelligence, and I called him Sam. So I had a fight with Sam, trying to prove to him that seafarers are the core element of artificial intelligence. And today, I will try to prove this to you by showing to you how we think we are going to do it. So today, we are not talking about technology, we're talking about the next level of seamanship. And in Lemur Maritime, and using this, we have created the digital marine seafarer, which will not rule the oceans, but will rule the systems that run on ships. So we believe in the human. But today we have ships that they do not just move cargoes. They move, they think, they anticipate, and they protect. Not because seafarers are less capable, but because the sea demands are more capable than ever. So we need them on board. We cannot replace them. Remember that in 1940, nobody could call from his vessel to his wife. And now we can have a FaceTime, and we can even see and feel. And that is what our industry does. It evolves, it changes. So the question is, are we ready? Not just technically, because technically I think we are ready. Culturally wise, operational wise, but most of all, mentally wise. Are we ready for this change? Today, we have bridges, engine room, decks, everything supported, everything real-time, dashboards, data, but who is managing them and who is making decisions about them? So we need to prepare, as my ex-speaker said here, we need to train them, but we need to train the digital mariner now. And digital mariner is here with us, and he needs our attention. So what we want to do is, and I'm going to try to give you what I need, is that the next wave of maritime excellence will not be only on steel and skills, but on silicon and softwares. That's what Sam told me to tell you. So I'm telling you what Sam did to me. So when I said to Sam, why you think you are smarter than humans and why you think you will prevail over seamen, he said to me, welcome to the club of people who talk about the future because they are building it. So what I did is I told him that we have cadets. We need cadets today. Otherwise, we cannot survive. We cannot go forward. We will not have seamen in the future. And there is a company worldwide, I will not share the name, but you can find it, who is training cadets on artificial intelligence today. And cadet needs to be empowered, needs to be prepared, needs to be proud of what he's doing, of his duty, not feel that he's left behind of any technology. We have to make sure that future is not technical. Future is human, believe it or not. Artificial intelligence does not replace human. will support them in our daily decision, because nobody can replace human decision. Nobody and nothing. But I'm going to prove this. I'm not going to delay anymore my topic to connect everything. So, the first thing is bridge. So everything is on screen, correct? And in your cars, you also have headings, blah, blah, etc., etc. So imagine this is the future bridge. Everything is on screen. Everything is real time. If you feel fatigue, who is going to replace the seaman? If no seaman on board. Just a question. Now they can predict everything. They can do what used to do with ARPA when we were sailing back in 90s, and we were trying to figure out how to avoid collisions. But today, we don't do anything. We are losing nautical seamanship and replacing by digital seamanship. So we need to rephrase everything. We need to rebuild everything. We need to make sure that all our schools, books, trainings are not about old seamanship, because there is no old seamanship on board anymore. And as the future goes, everything will change to digital. So if there is an autopilot today on vessels, okay? Everybody knows autopilot. I even used it when I was sailing in 1990. So today, what's going to replace autopilot? Mass? Think about this, and what happens if weather gets worse? Who is going to make decisions? Artificial intelligence? I'm not sure. So if we have digital situational awareness, if we have real-time fatigue, if we have monitoring of actual collision at sea, if we have all the equipment as it should be, without defects, without bypass, without patterns, as the old seamen were doing to survive at sea, so who is going to replace all this? And again, will this reduce collisions in the future? If all this come together, which is welcome. So no collisions. We hope no collisions even today. But with so sophisticated systems today, even today or yesterday, we had collisions. So what's wrong? The people, there is no human error. Take it as a grounded, and whoever wants me, he can challenge me anytime. So, no, I'm serious. Okay. So, this is a very serious issue. Work permits on board the vessels and enclosed space entry are #1 fatality for our seamen. So yes, some, or artificial intelligence, as you would like to call it here today, they can help us. We have so much complex systems today about how to enter enclosed space, how to do a work, generating tasks, generating checklists, generating toolbox, generating risk assessments, and in the end, we don't see any result. So yes, here artificial intelligence can do a lot of things. They can reshape how we think safety when we do this kind and this specific work. This is the artificial intelligence we want to reduce accidents, to reduce the risk of accidents. So yes, behavioral is one thing, because seamen will always behave the way they do. It's our DNA, finish, end of story. They will not change. We need to change the environment in which they work. And this is where artificial intelligence will give us the opportunity to do that. So yes, we can prevent accidents in the future. Maintenance, you already mentioned about predictive maintenance, but yes, engineers will be with a tablet, going around, taking real data, and what happens if some alarm comes up? So somebody must press the alarm and do what? who is going to say what's wrong. Some will do it wrong, and who is going to fix it? Some will do it again. So if we don't fix it, what we do? The vessel will not sail, propeller will not turn, and you know very well that if the propeller is not working, we don't have a ship. So everything is okay, especially for this kind of cargos and dual engines that LPG, LNG are now using, okay? So we can predict tasks. You have plant maintenance systems today, so what you will have tomorrow? Conditions maintenance systems. So we forget about PMS. We don't have PMS, we don't need PMS. Okay, we have some to do the PMS for us. So remember this when you are still working your plant maintenance system. Smart operations, it's already here. From January 2026, we have the cold ironing and regulations that require us to switch off our vessels while at berth and plug it ashore. Infrastructure, costs, everything increases, everything is getting higher. But now the good news, during cargo operations, will oil pollution incident stops? Since everything is really monitoring, real time, the pressure goes up, some will say stop. There is a high temperature, some will say stop. There is overflow, or we are coming to 98% of overfilling, some will say stop. So Sam will be our new chief officer. So with Sam, instead of chief officer, no pollutions. And what about the claims? Who will handle the claims? Not Sam, for sure. Anyway, let's go to port security. Now, maybe here ISPS code and cybersecurity are the future digital management system of the companies. I don't think ISM will prevail because we're talking about automation. We're talking about artificial intelligence. So ISM, as the future goes, will become obsolete. Instead, cybersecurity, security code, ISPS, all this will come forward. Imagine that if everything is digital, what the ISM has to do with this? What safety is the ISM is going to talk about then? Can ISM be with us in a few years? My answer, my opinion, is not, because we will need a digital safety management system to run all these systems. Anyway, so cybersecurity, when I was involved, I think 8 years ago, when Dr. Macheras was with me in our first, about 8 years ago, in first class with Cyprus company, that time, cybersecurity was something that should not be touched. What is this? Why we need cybersecurity? And today, everything is cyber. Everything. Do you have antivirus? Do you have two-way authentication? Do you have this? Do you have that? But everything is controlled by Google, by Facebook, by Meta, and we are afraid to give our data a business card. So remember that there are real cases, or at least news that tell us that cyber incidents have occurred, because I don't know what you believe, if you believe everything you see on television or you read in papers. This is where the good fake news come in and tell us a lot of things. But cyber will prevail in the future to come. So what our seafarers needs to do about cyber? We speak about training. What training? How can we train somebody who has learned to use something to think like a machine? We are not machines. We cannot think as machines. We cannot think how a hacker will come and tell us, okay, now it's time to, I like this vessel, or I don't like this vessel, so let's come on. No, we don't need this kind of training. We need to change the mentality. And this is the difficult aspect of everything we're going to do here. So seafarers do not need training, they need coaching, or starting from cadets, they need artificial intelligence training. And this is, I think, the most important aspect of everything. You're already doing this. You're already doing drones. Drones remove the risk. We don't need people now to hang out in cargo holds and take measurements. We don't need to send to fill up the cargo holds with water and have a boat running inside the cargo holds. This is good. This is the good aspect of artificial intelligence, but it reveals things that ship owners for years trying to hide. Yes, this is a side effect of drone inspection, but it's true. If we want safety, then we need to focus on safety by asking drones to do our job. And then humans will do the thinking, and we will decide. So if you do drone inspection, don't have the class with you because you might find something that you don't want to reveal, okay? Now, let's come to the most important aspect you said before, the interrelation between ship's office and seaman and manning agent. So, okay, we're going to train the seaman. Who is going to train us? If you train the seaman without training the office personnel, then how we are going to cooperate, how we are going to communicate each other? And who has trained us to deal with these kind of challenges today? Because we're talking today, not tomorrow. Artificial intelligence is not something that will happen. It's happening, it's here. But we are DPA, we are HSQ managers, technical managers, whatever. So who train us to deal with these kind of aspects? And who can tell us what and how we are going to face this kind of issues in the future? So, and by the way, if no seaman on board, who is going to be in the office in a few years? Robots? I don't know, just a question. So, already we have maritime autonomous surface vessels, the so-called mass vessels. Okay, so we have already everything in place. We have IMO regulating this place, but are we sure that we are going to have a plane flying alone? You know that airline is giving everything to maritime. Eh? What we learn is from air industry because they are pioneers and they cannot afford losing in plane. Sometimes you see that they are huge, automated, but they still have people, a captain, they have somebody engineering, and they have somebody for communications. And they have a single checklist, but huge manuals of how to deal with the procedures. So even then, we will not be able to sail around the world by using autonomous vessel. And this is also my opinion. And you know why? How you can manage 60,000 vessels right now at sea? How you can manage autonomous vessels in English Channel? How you can, even how you're going to moor them if you don't have the infrastructure. So, yes, and the question here is not to reducing people. By reducing people, we're removing human error. So, allow me to say that this is not what I believe, and this is not what I think. So, are we ready? Is going to replace, SAM is going to replace a seafarer? No, it's going to replace risk, delay, uncertainty, but not people. And that's good news. Are we ready? Technology is ready, regulation is coming up, but we are not ready in the office and on board. Imagine somebody of you today is IT manager, he's ready. Somebody is operation manager. What operation are you going to do? In a tanker, in a bulk carrier, in a container? You are a technical manager. Why do we need a technical manager seeing everything artificial intelligence will do with us? What we need DPA, there is no ISM. So I don't know if we are ready to deal with this. Is it safe? Yes, it becomes safer, and because it is used to give us alert, not to replace our decision. The moment that artificial intelligence will replace our decision, there will be no humans on this earth, for sure. So if we fail as artificial intelligence, then we will take over, as we have always done it this way. As long as we don't fight each other, because this is also a human aspect, okay? Who is going to be the pioneer and who is going to ruin the kingdom of dots. Anyway, crew members, are they going to be reduced? Yes. When I was sailing, we had a radio officer with us. Then GMTSS came and radio officer disappeared, but he became a second officer. So, yes, seamen, as we know today, they are going to be reduced, but there are other opportunities for them to be on board. And we have to give them this opportunity, otherwise, who is going at sea? Today, we are facing, I think, 30 or 40,000 shortcut of future seamen, if not mistaken. So, if more and more and more technology is coming, who is going on board? And what our nautical academies do about this? I see here from HIOS. In HIOS, I think they're still teaching them old books, not IT books. So, I want to close by saying that I used to hold the sextant when I was young. Today, nobody cares about sextant. But this was maritime seamanship, and we must honor the past. We must learn from the past. We must look back and say, what you did was tremendous and very, very useful. You did what we are today. So we must honor them. So it's not old versus new. It's the old becoming new. And this is where the transition, and I'm glad that I heard someone speaking about management of change, because this is what we need. We don't want to replace everything. We want just to make sure that our seafarers are with us. And allow me to close my short speaking by saying that the 2050 mariner is not less than a seafarer. He will be, or she, a navigator of oceans and systems. And that's the big change. Oceans still are unexplored. We don't know the oceans, and who says that has never been a seaman before. So we need to master not only the waves of the oceans, but also the patches of the systems that we are going to use on board. So as they said, and I will do this, some read the stars, some read the systems and share the same ocean, but we all share the same ocean, and the future belongs to those who are preparing. This is by some, okay? So, now, closing, I would like to tell you that you have to start preparing your next training matrix for seamen, because what you have is already obsolete. Thank you.